Hello students, today let us see the extraction of crude metal. Now this extraction of crude metal involves the reduction of oxide by some reducing agent like carbon monoxide, aluminium and some reacting metals like sodium, potassium, etc. Now here for a particular reduction, we have to use the particular reducing agent. For example, carbon cannot be used as a reducing agent for more reactive metals like sodium, potassium, etc. because they may form carbide. Then similarly, carbon monoxide cannot be used as a reducing agent for aluminum oxide and zinc oxide, etc. Hence, a suitable reducing agent is selected for the particular reduction of that particular metal oxide. This is the basic principle in reduction of metal oxide into crude metal. Now, the first method is smelting. So this smelting means you just understand it is meant for extraction of iron and as well as extraction of copper. These two processes are carried out in this process. The name itself has the meaning smelting. If you take S, melting. So we have to melt. Then it is carried out in a furnace, that is smelting furnace. That is why it comes the name smelting. That means smelting means first we have to add a flux. One more question. Generally calcium oxide is added for the extraction of the iron. So in this the flux calcium oxide is added as a flux so that it makes the silicon dioxide to a fusible slag. It can be easily removed because directly it is not possible to remove the silicon dioxide directly. That is why to melt, to lower the melting point, we have to add the third substance added to melt and fuse, and it can be taken as a slag. For that we have added calcium oxide. So to and followed by reduction by adding suitable reducing agent. So combination of these melting and reduction totally which is carried out in a smelting furnace, that is called smelting. So during this the iron oxide for reduction into crude metal reducing agent is used is carbon monoxide. So if it is used, it reduces the oxide into crude metal. So now write the equations. Fe2O3 ferric oxide plus carbon monoxide, you get iron liquid state plus carbon dioxide gas. Then this side here 2 iron, right side 1, you put 2, then remaining oxygen will be balanced 3O2. Like that already I told how to balance the equation. This is simple if you put 2. Okay. Then next the flux which is added in the smelting furnace, calcium oxide, it is a basic in nature. It is a basic nature. Generally you understand all the metals they form basic oxide. Non-metals generally they form acidic oxide. Since calcium oxide is added, is a basic in nature, it reacts with the silica, that is silicon dioxide, which is acidic nature, to form a slag, that is calcium silicate. Write the equation CaO solid plus SiO2 solid, then gives calcium silicate slag. It can be easily removed. So now only you get only the pure crude metal iron. So this is one process. The next is extraction of copper in the same smelting process. Now already we know that the G4 of copper is copper pyrite. So now or cuprite or copper pyrites. it is the sulfide ore of both copper and iron. The formula is CuFeS2. So here in this, the important thing is when you heat that oxide ore and other flux, it is to be heated on condition above the melting point of the metal. Understand? During smelting, that is the one condition we have to apply. So now during this roasting, first the ore, chief ore of copper pyrites, first it is split into Cu2S and FeS and sulfur dioxide, first stage. So write the equation Cu FeS2 on plus O2 during roasting heated at a elevated temperature or high temperature above the melting point of the metal, that is split into Cu2S. In this case, the copper valence is 1. So you understand. So it is cuprous sulfide or copper 1 sulfide plus FeS plus sulfur dioxide. So this side 2, this side 2, put 2, then remaining thing you balance it. Then next, the ferrous sulfide present, again it undergoes oxidation to give ferrous oxide. So FeS solid, then oxygen gas to give ferrous oxide, FeO, ferrous oxide plus sulfur dioxide. Then here you balance the equation, here 3 oxygen, like that you already you know. So that is called, after this, once the ferrous oxide is formed, it react with that, because in the copper pyrites the general principle is the ferrous sulfide is present as the major impurities. So by several steps we have to remove these ferrous sulfide as the impurities. So during this, so this process is carried out in a reverberatory furnace. So these names of the furnace are given depends upon the shape. Then like blast furnace, smelting furnace, reverberatory furnace, open earth furnace, which is heart shape. So like that, that is the name given. So during this, when it is oxidized, the ferrous sulfide convert into ferrous oxide and sulfur dioxide. Then next, sulfur, this ferrous oxide combines with acidic, because ferrous oxide is a basic nature. It combines with silicon dioxide, which is acidic in nature, to give ferrous silicate FeSiO3, which is removed as a slag. Then again in the same furnace, it contains unreacted ferrous sulfate and unreacted cuprous sulfate. Then which are molten state. So now these unreacted ferrous sulfide and unreacted cuprous sulfide in molten state is called mate. One more question, mate. Then that mate is, if both are liquid state, it is transferred into another converter, generally Bessemer converter. Bessemer converter you might have studied. It is a egg-shaped furnace. Like that, it can be what? Fed. This mate is fed into Bessemer converter and heated very strongly in the excess of R. Once again, the ferrous sulfide present in that will be oxidized to ferrous oxide and sulfur dioxide. The same reaction what we have seen above during roasting. So like that, again you can write the equation FeS plus oxygen gives ferrous oxide. Again ferrous oxide plus silicon dioxide, you are getting ferrous silicate. 2 times we have removed that ferrous sulfide into ferrous silicate as a slag. The remaining unreacted, only it contains Cu2S. So that Cu2S, now it is in, understand, that is Cu2S, then react with, again undergoes oxidation, gives Cu2O plus sulfur dioxide. Then Cu2O, then react with unreacted Cu2S, then finally you are getting crude copper 6Cu plus sulfur dioxide. That crude copper, which has a blister appearance. What do you mean by blister appearance? Because there is some blister, means formation of some bubbles on the surface of the copper. So That is why when sulfur dioxide gas is expelled, some bubbles are formed on the surface of the copper. That is called, it is called impure copper is called, one more question, it is blister copper. Then this blister copper, then it is subject to refining. After that we can see that refining process in the next class. Then today how we have seen, how iron is extracted and how again copper is extracted by smelting purpose. There it is melting furnace, here reverberatory furnace, and also we have seen the equation. To sum up the equation alone, all the condition procedure I have well explained. Once again the reaction for iron oxide plus carbon monoxide is the reducing agent, gives iron plus carbon dioxide. Then calcium oxide, which is used as a slag, combines with acidic silicon dioxide to give calcium silicate as a slag, removed. Then once again come for the copper. The T4 of copper is copper pyrites. So CuFeS2 during oxidation heated at elevated temperature and above its melting point. So during this it split into Cu2S, Fes and sulfur dioxide. Then Fes undergoes oxidation to give FeO. Then FeO plus SiO2 gives ferrosilicate, which is removed as a slag. There unreacted Cu2S and Fes, which are in molten state, the mixture is called mate. That mate is transferred into a Bessemer converter, and again it is heated strongly. During this process, again the unreacted ferrous sulfide undergoes oxidation to form FeO. Then FeO again combines with FeO is now it is basic nature, and silicon dioxide is acidic nature. They combine to form a fusible slag. It can be dragged easily. That is called ferrosilicate. Then again the Cu2S present in the meat will be undergoes oxidation to give Cu2O plus sulfur dioxide. Then Cu2O again combines with unreacted Cu2S to give copper plus sulfur dioxide. If we balance, 6 copper will come. That copper has a blister appearance, that is some bubbles like appearance will be formed on the surface of the copper, and while sulfur dioxide is what? Expelling. So this impure copper is called blister copper for one more question. So today, now it is enough. Let us continue tomorrow for other type of reduction. Thank you, students. See you. Now, let us see the reduction of oxide by coal or coke, which contains carbon. So in this case, you have to remember for 2 marks or 3 marks question, only the example you have to remember, because the particular oxide you have to use the particular reducing agent. So now in this case, we have to use coal or coke with the oxide which do not form carbide. That is very, very important condition. 1 mark question. Now let us see some of the example. Now see ZnO plus carbon. So all are solid. Then Zn plus carbon dioxide is a gas. So you can balance the equations. The next is Mn3O4 plus carbon. Mn3O4 plus carbon. So now again it is reduced to both are solid state. Then all the now crude metals are solid state. So you put SS. So manganese and carbon dioxide. Then similarly chromium oxide Cr2O3. In this case the chromium valence is 3, then oxygen valence is 2, then chromic oxide plus balanced equation 3 carbon, you are getting chromium liquid and carbon dioxide. So these are the 3 examples for reduction of oxide by carbon. Suppose if they ask for 3 marks, 3 examples enough. Then next is reduction by hydrogen. In this case also we have to use 3 examples, but the condition is here we have to take the oxide which are less electropositive than hydrogen. That is the condition. Then similarly take the oxides of first silver oxide. In this case the silver valence is 1, oxygen valence is 2, cross multiply, you are getting Ag2O. Understand? Then plus hydrogen, you are getting silver. metallic silver 2Ag plus water. Then similarly, if you take Fe3O4, Fe3O4, in the smelting we have taken Fe2O3, but in this case by reduction with hydrogen we have to take Fe3O4. Fe3O4 plus hydrogen gives iron plus water. Then similarly nickel oxide NiO, nickel valency 2, oxygen valency 2, cross multiply, then with hydrogen plus carbon monoxide. In this case nickel, we have to use nickel oxide plus hydrogen plus carbon monoxide. So one more question, the mixture of hydrogen and carbon monoxide is a gas. It is a gas. So it is, sorry, both it is called water gas. One more question. So hence solid, gas, then your nickel, then water, liquid and carbon dioxide gas. So these are the three examples for reduction of oxide by hydrogen. Next is reduction by metals. So this is a 3 marks question. You can expect aluminothermic process. By using some metals, in the beginning we have seen we can use aluminum or sodium or magnesium for certain oxides. Now let us see use of aluminum, especially in chromic oxide. It is called, the process is called aluminothermic process. We are using aluminum metal for as a reducing agent. Then thermic, lot of heat is evolved nearly above 850, nearly above 850 kilojoules per mole. That is for aluminothermic process. That heat is utilized in joining the railway track if there is any crack. So there is a aluminothermic process. So now it is to be taken by previous case we have to take in blast furnace. In this case we have to take an iron crucible or iron furnace in which a mixture of barium peroxide and we have to take aluminum powder and chromic oxide in the ratio 3:1. So over this you have to take a mixture of barium peroxide, that is barium peroxide is BaO2. Then to ignite you have to use the magnesium ribbon. So if we ignite, what will happen? The barium peroxide gets burns and lot of heat is released. It is an exothermic reaction. Nearly more than 850 kilojoules of heat is liberated. That heat reduces. Understand? That chromic oxide plus aluminum gives total reaction is aluminum. Understand? Aluminum crude metal is obtained. But step by step we can write the equation. First barium peroxide BaO2 plus aluminum. BaO2 plus aluminum. You are getting, understand, BaO2 plus aluminum. Understand? Ba2 plus or otherwise BaO2 plus magnesium, because we are igniting barium peroxide with magnesium. So you are getting magnesium oxide and barium. Then next is we have to use chromium oxide plus aluminum gives chromium plus aluminum oxide. In this case we are using aluminum. One more question. Aluminum is used as a reducing agent and get itself oxidized. That is why it is called aluminum oxide. And chromium plus liberating what? 850 above kilojoules per mole. Hence it is an exothermic reaction. Like this chromium is extracted by aluminothermic process. Then other examples we can say, we can take 2T. So 2T means one is titanium dioxide plus magnesium. You are getting what? Titanium plus magnesium oxide. Similarly thorium oxide, THO2. In this case thorium valency 4, oxygen valency 2. Simplify, you are getting THO2 plus this one magnesium. You are getting thorium plus magnesium oxide. Then next is boron oxide. Boron oxide B2O3. Then boron valency 3, oxygen valency 2, cross multiply. Boron oxide, boron trioxide, boron oxide plus sodium. In this case sodium, you are getting boron plus sodium oxide. So Na2O. So 2 Na you put. So valency for sodium is 1 and oxygen is 2. Cross multiply. Then similarly next is rubidium oxide. Rubidium oxide. Then rubidium valency 3, oxygen valency 2. You cross multiply, you are getting rubidium oxide. Plus again you can use that magnesium, you are getting rubidium plus magnesium oxide. So these are all the some example for reducing by metals. Then finally some of the metals, understand, they directly during roasting they will directly convert into metals. In this case the reducing agent is not required. For example, the ore of mercury is cinnabar. So cinnabar mercury is what? HgS. So mercuric sulfide on strong heating it decomposes into mercury Hg liquid plus sulfur dioxide. So these are the general methods for converting oxide into corresponding metal. So to sum up or to put in nutshell, we can recall once again the conversion of various steps in conversion of oxide into crude metal. Once start from smelting. To sum up, by beginning we have seen all the procedure principle. Now smelting. During smelting, two metals are extracted. One is iron and copper. In iron there are in the iron there are 3 equations. If you come for copper, there are 5 equations. So final equation of copper is copper oxide plus Cu2s gives 6 copper and sulfur dioxide, blister copper. One more question, impure copper. Then after this, now come for reduction of oxide by coal or carbon. In that we have seen 2 or 3 example like ZnO, then Mn3O4, Cr2O3. We have seen gives a corresponding crude metal. Then reduction by hydrogen also we have seen so many reaction, Ag2O and Fe3O, some example we have seen. Then similarly reduction by this one for metals. In those cases we have seen 5 examples at alumina thermic process for extraction of crude metal of chromium. So now we have clearly seen the conversion of oxide into crude metal by several methods. So after this, let us see next class we can see thermodynamic principle involved in metallurgy. Okay, today enough. Thank you.